What is up, everybody? This is LJ Bowens, your director of the Southeast Regional North Carolina Poetry Festival, coming back once again. If you just saw that whole exchange for our panel known as the When Worlds Collide Youth Adult Slam panel, that was phenomenally dope. Once again, let's give a shout out and applause to our moderator, Desana Hanu, and our panelists, Joe Mayo, coach of the Puerto Rico Slam team, Ebony Payne English coming all the way from Jackson, Florida, and Matthew Cuban Hernandez coming all the way from Los Angeles, California. So right now we are about to get into our youth open mic. So be ready. It's going to be phenomenally dope. We have some dope artists that are going to be on here. I'm excited. Like I know I'm like it's like I'm trying to put the words together because when we started doing this youth open mic for our festival, it ended up being one of the biggest things to add to our festival. So we always make sure we have some type of youth component for this wonderful, 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 wonderful festival. So I'm excited. I hope y'all are excited. And like I said, I'm going through my notes, make sure I'm not missing anything. But real quick, just to let y'all know, if you want to rewatch all this stuff, if you missed anything, you can go to our YouTube channel, Southeast Regional North Carolina Poetry Festival. Please subscribe to that channel. You'll be able to jump on all of that good stuff once you get a chance to, and you can recap all of the festival in its entirety. And if you want to share all the things that are going on, you can go to share the hashtags SERNC 2020 or SERNC Poetry Festival. So without further ado, I'm gonna get over here and let's go ahead and get to our youth open mic hosted by D Minor.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 4 of the Southeastern Regional Poetry Festival. I am so excited to be hosting this event. I love spectating and being a part of youth events because I am honestly just so blown away by the poets that I see. You guys are on a completely different level. It's amazing. I'm D Minor. I've been doing this whole poetry thing for about 6 years now. I've known LJ for pretty much that amount of time. He's been a fantastic mentor to me. Real quick, because our open mic list is a little bit short today, I would really like our poets for this afternoon to do 2 poems, up to 3, just because we don't have a lot of people, but that's all right. Another little reminder, please, no hate speech is tolerated whatsoever towards any race, gender, sexuality, religion. That's not welcome here whatsoever. This is a safe space for all people. But up first, we have a poet by the name of Rizzy to do her first poem. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, so I'm gonna be doing a poem. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you?
Okay.
So my poem is called Colored in America. Colored in America, American Negro. The words you use to dehumanize my person does not define who I may be. Instead, it sets in motion my motivation like an alarm clock for school. We're just like you, but different. My red blood covers the surface of my black skin. My roots start deep within the ground like the trees we were hung from when wrongly accused. Because I'm black, my presence threatens the world. I'm just like you, but different. We think with brains until our skulls are shattered by weapons used to put fear in our hearts. Our lives are put on the line every time we leave the house, but really inside, we're no safer. We're killed by stepping with the wrong foot. Even a brush looks like a gun. Black mothers rarely die before their sons. Little girls grow up without a father due to a system created to undermine the struggles of black lives. But they matter too, because black birds fly and we're just like you, but different at the same time. Because my melanin isn't something you can just wash away, but I'd rather it stay, because my skin is a hero. Colored in America, American Negro.
That was really, really deep. I liked that for sure. Let me see real quick. All right, next up we have Cheyenne Campbell. Hello. Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
All right, start whenever you're ready.
My poem is called Break from Home.
Is your mic having issues there, Cheyenne?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, do you want to go ahead and try one more time?
Okay.
All right.
There's a silent cry in the distance. The wind carries the sound of despair. No one can hear the silent scream. Is it even there at all? She cries in the night sky, the wail of her soul trapped in the distance. She can't fight it. It's too strong to let go. She desperately holds on to her soul. But it is no use. It is too far gone. She cries to herself. But wait, look in the distance. There is a strength, a sign. Her hope comes back, strong as can be. She has returned to her well-being. Her head held high, her strength returned, her life much better, her soul returned. What was it she suffered from, you may ask? It was a beast so strong it cannot be beat, unless by strength and this.
Oh, check your mic one more time for me. You cut out the end. Yeah, turn your mic back on real quick and say something.
Can you hear me?
I can now. You cut out a little bit in the last maybe 10 seconds of that piece.
Oh.
Did you want to start from like a midpoint and get that finished up?
I can start from the last part of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
What was it she suffered from, you may ask? It was a beast so strong it cannot be beat, unless by strength and hope. This beast is anxiety, and you can beat it too, for all you need to have is hope in you.
That was lovely. As someone who is diagnosed with crippling anxiety, that is definitely something that is on my radar at all times. So I appreciate that sort of representation in your piece. That was wonderful. And last for today, we have Gemini. Gemini, are you ready?
Sorry for my face.
Me too.
This is a very new poem called Dear Malcolm X. So yeah. Dear Malcolm, I wonder what you would say if you could see us now. Would you be angry? Well, of course you would be angry. What else could you be? I mean, the president is a white racist that thinks he's a god, and white racists think we should listen to him. They shoot us in the streets and he calls them good people. A white kid murdered two and got called a hero for shooting, and they wonder why it isn't peaceful. We are peaceful for decades. This year that stopped, and it seems to be making them open their ears, but all they can focus on is the buildings that got burnt as if there was never a reason behind it. They think that the anger we bottled up should marinate while we watch Black bodies lose breath a little too quickly. They want us to be complacent, tell us our peaceful is terrorism, and tell us that violence is only okay when we're not the ones causing it. They tell us to simply follow the law, like a woman wasn't killed for sleeping in her own house, like multiple Black people weren't shot in their own house, like existing won't get us shot in our own house. And it's crazy because now we see that they can get away with shooting into the wrong house. I wonder if you'd call this attempted genocide. I mean, once it became illegal to use us, they separated, lynched, and abused us. And after that, we still didn't disappear. And, letting pigs... And after all, letting pigs do it seems a little too familiar, doesn't it? The country we were forced into never had any intent on keeping us alive once we stopped working for free, dear Malcolm. The Civil War hasn't ended. It's simply evolved after years of pent-up anger. Black people are no stranger to fighting for basic necessities. It's 2020, and it's sad that I'm still not surprised that we're fighting for basic necessities. I've been prepping for this since elementary school. When my mother first told me that people would single me out because of my skin. When my mother first told me that I would have to work harder because of my skin. When my mother got mad at me for using slang because no matter how smart I am, if I sound ghetto, I won't get treated with respect. I guess chaos in the name of good is less thug-like when the skin isn't melanated. That's how it's been for years. But I know now this is what you meant by any means necessary, because almost every movement in history got what they wanted through riots. This entire country was built on war, so they should be lucky riots are the worst of it. Dear Malcolm, I wonder whether or not the riots will continue to be the worst of it, or if this is just a revolution waiting to happen.
I don't even have anything to say. That was just really, really great. That I'm not very articulate, but yeah, fantastic stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and give Rizzy the opportunity to share another piece, if she'd like to. Is your mic muted there, Rizzy? Hello? Hello, Rizzy, can you hear me? No? All right. Guess we'll move on. Did Cheyenne wanna share another piece before we close this up?
Yeah, I can.
All right.
This one is called Stolen Kiss. I wrote it recently along with Strength of Mind. There in the distance you see, a parcel of mystery is waiting for you. What is it, you may ask, opening it with excitement. It is a sacred treasure for you. A stolen kiss is what you see. It is tender and sweet, loving and reassuring for all who can feel the way it is. My love smiles upon you with every passing day, and I cannot stop thinking of you and how perfect you are. You are my love and my stolen kiss. You are all I desire and more. You came in and helped me see that you are all I need. The one who knows and sharpens my heart.
Can't tell if your mic muted out there or if there was a bit of a glitch, but what I definitely did hear was great stuff. You are a fantastic artist. I'm going to give Rizzy one more opportunity to share another piece before we end this thing. Rizzy? Hello? Rizzy, can you hear me? Rizzy? I see you kind of like muting and unmuting. Can you, if you're speaking, I definitely can't hear you. Okay, there you go. All right. Did you want to go ahead and do another piece? Go ahead.
Okay. Speak. Open your mouth and talk. Let words spill out like juice in that cup that you overfilled. But this time, mommy might not beat your ass. Speak. Let words leak like blood from your black body when the police are later fresh. You know, like how some women are afraid of men. His fist becomes the weapons. Her skin becomes the evidence. The heart of a crime scene. Caution. Danger beyond this point. Speak for single black women with children, praying that they don't die before you do. Speak for little girls being raped and molested because mommy won't believe you. You wish daddy was here. Speak for poverty because not everybody can afford a house, clothes, and food. You can't find a job because people are afraid to hire a person with that type of skin. Speak for black men and black boys who suffer the consequences of their actions. High war afraid.
That was fantastic. I love the energy here with these poems that I've been hearing. And it just makes me so proud to be in a generation where we are so, I don't know, in touch with the world around us. It makes me feel hopeful for change and progress. I am going to bring up Gemini for a second piece.
Hi again.
Hey there. All right, whenever you're ready.
This one is kind of old. It's called The Boy in Red. 7 years old. His favorite color is pink. He says it proudly, but to his dismay, his daddy tells him he should change it to red. It's more manly that way. He doesn't get why, but he learned in art class that he doesn't get why because he learned in art class that pink is just red with a little bit of light, but he changes it anyway. He decides to remember this day so that anytime he gets pushed off the swing set, red blurs his vision and pushes him to push back. He's more manly this way. 8, 9, 10. The net on his toy wrestling ring is red. His trucks are red. His sheets are red. His shoes are red, and so is his left knee. He fell on the track during gym. His teacher calls his big brother because his dad's at work. His brother gets there and sees his tears and tells him to suck it up, that men don't cry, so he blinks his tears away, and that leaves him with red eyes. 11, 12, 13. 14. He's got his first girlfriend. She wants to have classes with him next semester, and parent development is an easy course. His best friend tells him that it's a class for girls and that he's a dude and he doesn't need it. Red burns at his cheeks. He thought he was supposed to know this stuff, but as it turns out, he doesn't. He signs up for gym and tells his girl that something went wrong. Red encourages the lie, and when she catches him in it, Red tells him that she didn't even mean that much to him, that it's better this way. 15. 16. Red is what gets him a 5-day suspension. It puts its hands around his eyes and molds itself into his brain. He threw a punch. 17. 18. Red's got him in trouble again. Red has inserted itself into his psyche, replacing pink, making him punch and kick until he's handcuffed in a police station. He's in pain, and his hands are red, and his nose is oozing with it. Red has colored itself onto his body, and while the nurse bandages his hands, red wraps itself around his soul. It fuels him. 19. 20. Red got him kicked out of college, because when Red could find no more room in his mind, it coursed through his veins and found its way through his fists. Red is the reason he's got 2 kids, because it told him he didn't need to learn about protection. It's the reason that he doesn't know the names of his baby boys, because when Pink went away, Red told him that kids weren't his responsibility. It blinded him to the point where he took red and used it as paint. He decorated his baby mama's face with it. Red is the reason he drinks away his tears, because when he officially let go of Pink, blinking them away became impossible. Red is now his biggest regret. He used to think that red made him manly and strong, but as he looks at his reflection in his second bottle of liquor, he sees now that it's made him a husk of a man. He raises it to his lips once more, and his intoxicated mind takes him back to 7. Back to when red had a little more light mixed with it. Back when he first told his daddy that his favorite color was pink.
Flow. I am really, really digging it. That was an amazing show. I think that we really brought up some, I don't know how to phrase my love for young people. Obviously I don't really I talk as if I'm ancient, but I mean, I love seeing young people get invested in the world around them and politics even, and being so adamant about, voting and racism, and it's really great stuff. But it is almost 2:00. I am going to conclude our show with one poem by yours truly. Don't roast me for this one. I never named this piece, and it's pretty old, but it's definitely one of my favorites, so here we go. Day 1. I'm drunk. It's 3 a.m. and I'm alone with the occasional ping of my cell phone. I ignore it. My friends are worried about me. Day 2. Very similar to the day before, and I've discovered today that I can't even enjoy myself anymore. I cried a lot that night. Day 3 was the day I decided tattoos would be required to cover your markings on my body. You see, you did this to me. You made me believe that I had to. I thought it would make you forgive me. You know everybody gets high, and this breakup makes drugs consume me, even when I didn't want them to. Most of my time wasn't spent sleeping or sober, but all of my days were spent wishing it was over, and I wish I could tell you how long that lasted, but when you're running on sleep deprivation and a daily hangover, you don't tend to notice what day it is anymore. I went to his house hungover. Someone else, someone I'd been frequenting for some time, and even though I knew he didn't want me, I still needed to feel hands that wouldn't hit me, and I love yous that didn't seem backhanded. His upstairs loft made me feel worth something. Finally, at some point, I got sick of feeling owned by you, and one day I grabbed my blade and mangled my skin until I couldn't see your name anymore or anything else you wished me to decorate myself with. And then it has a bunch of things that I'm not willing to share today. And an accident that got a bit out of hand. You were mad at me for that one. I bore the pain for weeks, but it felt so much nicer than what I had before because I'd rather shower with the stinging pain of a scar that would soon look like a birthmark than to have to shower with your name still legible on my forearm. You said I lied to preserve your heart. You lied to preserve my devotion. You wanted amber resin dripped onto the messages I sent, didn't you, to forever encapsulate me to forever encapsulate me agreeing to do whatever you asked of me in the name of love. I know I hurt you bad, but never once did I worry my intentions would remain on standby, that I'd stand between a brick wall of a girl I didn't love that much and a concrete slab of suicidal thoughts, all because you hated her more than you loved me. I thought there was no possible way I could fix this. Admittedly, I wanted to have my cake and eat it too, but so much time went by, the cake grew stale, and by the time I actually got a taste, I'm sorry. I'm still so sorry for lying to you and doing everything I could to make you keep loving me while not having to break off a relationship I really wanted to work. I never meant to mess things up so badly, which is why solitude and clouds of smoke were the only things that could make the hurt of finally losing you seem like it wasn't there for weeks. Just this last month, I had another crying fit over my roommate joking that I was a liar and could never keep my promises, and the only thing that I could think was, I'm so sorry. I'm okay with crotch has patterns scarred all over the places you said you kissed me, because for as long as that lipstick stain isn't there instead, it'll feel like I'd finally escaped this horrid dream. Thank you.
Woo! I'm doing this not only for the host, but I'm doing this for all of the awesome artists that did our youth open mic. For anybody, we've been doing a lot of these open mic events for the week, and this may have been the shortest one, but this was the most impactful one because it was the youth, and that stands out a lot. And then to make it even go any further, it was well represented, man. Like it was great hearing all of the artists. D minor, if possible, how can people reach out to you if they want to know more of your work and what you do as an artist if you're on the social media interwebs like that?
I am Damian Wilson on Facebook. If you can't find me, you could probably find me through LJ. I'm his friend on there. I don't really have other big social media platforms, at least not where I promote my work, but I don't know, I float around Fayetteville, and sometimes you may see me at an event and then I'll go ghost for a couple of months and then you'll see me at the next one, and I don't know.
So, real quick, guys, like we do for all of our hosts, if you enjoyed our host, of which I know y'all did because I was seeing everything y'all putting in, go ahead and leave them some love in the comment box. Let them know. Leave them some flame emojis, some thumbs up, hearts, and all that good stuff. D Minor is very, very dope, and I'm glad to say that I'm privileged to have mentored her and all of her dope work. And I got to keep my eye on her because it sounds like her writing is getting way better than mine. So I'm going to have to step the pen up before she starts challenging me. Real quick, before we wrap this up, definitely give a shout out to Gemini, Diane Campbell, and Rizzy for stepping up to the mic as youth artists and definitely doing some work on this stage. I know Gemini was part of the Poetic Pathos Slam team that are now ranked 3rd in the world because Poetic Pathos, first ever North Carolina team to make finals in Brave New Voices. So I'll go ahead and talk about them, let them talk their stuff. But Rizzy is actually Cheyenne also phenomenally dope artist as well. And Rizzy actually last year won our youth poetry slam last year. So definitely give a shout out to them. So real quick before we end this off, if you want to watch all of this wonderful stuff that's happened at the festival so far, you can go to our YouTube channel, Southeast Regional North Carolina Poetry Festival. Subscribe to that channel, and you can look at this event, the panel that we had earlier, the nerd open mic, the LGBTQ open mic, and our kickoff open mic. And this is where now we will take a break, but at 6 o'clock, we will pick back up with our History of Fayetteville Poetry panel, which is going to be phenomenally dope. You do not want to miss that. And then we will go into our Pillars of Fayetteville Showcase, which is another event you don't want to miss because the pillars are climbing from underneath the rocks to come and rock out with y'all for one good time. And then later tonight, we got an after party. So make sure y'all tuned in for all this wonderful good stuff. Real quick, do you have any last words you would like to tell the audience, D minor?
Not really, besides, stay safe, stay healthy, stay aware of everything that's just going on around you in the world, and keep in mind that even though, a lot of things aren't going to affect the same people, that a lot of people are struggling and hurting right now, and this is a time of unity, and it is so essential, and to just, just keep that in your heart, stay positive, and don't get the Rona.
I'm gonna put I was thinking the same thing. D minor growing up. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Youth Open Mic. We will see you guys back at 6 for our History of Fayetteville panel. And other than that, guys, always remember purpose over popularity. See y'all in a little bit. Peace.